All righty. Good morning, good evening, whatever the case may be, and whatever part of the world you're living in. Welcome to Jets World. We're coming to you live tonight from the Empire Room, and we're going to be talking about the Elysium Dance Troupe. With me, we got Baby P and Paul. Hello, you two. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing
Howdy.
good.
Hello.
Hey, Paul, and we can hear you. Can you hear us, Paul?
Yes, I hear you.
Good. All right. Now, today we're going to be talking about the dance troupe called Elysium Cabaret, I think it is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we begin by what goes into making a dance?
Okay, that's really, really complicated, and I don't think a lot of people quite understand if they haven't been to a dance show.
Okay.
If we dancers, they automatically think of the gals or guys who dance on poles, which, there's nothing wrong with that. I've done it. It was a heap of fun, but
Uh-huh.
this is completely different. This type of dance show is very complex. Each choreographer chooses a song and they create a dance tailored to that song. This involves building very elaborate sets that create an atmosphere and a mood that we draw the audience into. We choose from among thousands of animations, dance animations, to find the ones that work best and suit the song that we're dancing to. And we arrange that choreography. It's very tightly synced, the choreography to match the music. We then organize elaborate costuming and things like special effects, particles, all sorts of things to make the dance special and entertaining. And a lot of time goes into creating a dance. I've had dances that I've actually been able to start one day and finish the next, but I've also had dances that took me around 140 hours to create.
Wow.
So the just for one dance. Um, so a lot. It's very time consuming, very meticulous, and the costuming can be very expensive. The most I ever spent was I spent once 16,000 lindens on costumings for one dance, and that's pretty ridiculous. But I wanted those costumes for that dance, and when it comes to dance, I will have what I want because this is my hobby, and it's something that I don't mind
Right.
paying a little because you put money into hobbies. And compared to real life hobbies, it's really not that expensive. But it's very elaborate. We create these dances and put a lot of time and money into them and then bring them all together for the show. And each choreographer will present that we might have 8 acts in a show, sometimes as few as six, sometimes as many as 10.
Yeah.
But on the average, we try to have 7 acts in our shows, plus a crowd dance. And the crowd dance is the finale. And that's when we invite the entire audience up on stage. They all get on dance balls and we dance the entire audience. Usually there's 3 songs for the finale of all of our shows. So yeah.
Wow. This is a lot of time there. Now, when you were talking about acts, I'm assuming you're talking about different dances, right? Or, well,
Yes.
okay.
Each choreographer creates their own act. And yeah, and we on average have 8 acts in a show. On our shows, we do a show every Friday night at 6 p.m. We also do a matinee the last Saturday of each month at 1 p.m. for people who are in Europe who still want to come and see our shows. And we've been doing this. We're in our 11th year. So yeah, 11 years is a long time
Yeah, I was getting
to
ready to say that. It's a long
dance
time.
shows every week, and plus the matinees. So yeah, our anniversary's in December, and this
What
is
days do
we'll be
you
11
usually have a show?
every Friday at 6 p.m. and then the last Saturday of each month at 1 p.m. Right here
Okay.
in the Empire on the Copperhead Road Sim.
And now let's talk a little bit more about the community aspect of it just for a moment or two. Um, I'm assuming that there's a lot more dance troops are all around Second Life. Do you all work as a solid community? Or are you more individual, or how does that work?
Well, there is a hub for the dance community in Second Life, and it's called Dance Queens. It's a group that's open for everyone to join, and Dance Queens is very complex. They have a
Okay.
sim with an information center. They have a classroom that's free for people to use if you want to teach anything about dance. They have a stage. If you want to do a dance show and you don't have your own stage, you can use their stage. They don't charge anything for it. They have an art gallery that's full of dance art and art that's created by people here in Second Life that relates to dance. They have even a DJ area for open dancing and DJ parties. They have a memorial garden too when we've lost people who have passed in real life, who have been, well known in the dance community. We put a bench with their name on it as a memorial in the memorial garden where you can go and sit and, remember people who you've lost. Dance Queens of course, they have the group, but they also have a blog, they have a calendar, and if you just want to know what dance shows are on any given day, you can just take a look at the blog and look at the calendar. All the shows are listed on there. And in the info center, you'll also find the logos of every active dance troupe that we know of. There's more than 100 of them. There's a dance troops in Second Life, and a lot of people they get involved in dance, and pretty soon they start wanting their own troupe because for the same reason I wanted a troupe. I wanted to start a troupe because I wanted a place where I could dance without all the rules. Because every place I danced at had all these rules, and I wanted a place where I could do my own thing. And so a lot of times, I want to start their own troupe. And the dance community is pretty close. Um, there is some hair pulling, but I think that's true with any large group of people, even small groups of people. There's hair pulling in my marriage between myself and my husband, but mostly it's very supportive. And people are mostly willing to help each other and support each other. A lot of my friends have their own dance troupes, and we all dance in each other's troupes. And
Well, it's
at the
very
end of
cool.
the day, for me, for dance, is getting to socialize and hang out with creative people, kindred spirits, I call them. And I love spending quality creative time with them. And that's what dance lets me do.
All right, now, Paul, didn't you create this building here in the Empire Room? Did you design it all by hand, or did you just go out and buy?
I bu-
Go ahead.
no, it's built from scratch from Prims. Long ago, remodeled it a couple of times, but over 10 years ago, Baby P said we need a club, and well, here it is, the Empire Room, still here over 10 years.
Oh, you did an amazing job with it.
And he also built everything up on the platform. If you ever want to come and take a look around the Rockefeller Center and all the buildings, there's a beautiful park, and it's just really, really. There's an ice skating rink and all sorts of things, and he built it all. He's really, really a talented builder and decorator.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we started Elysium. Paul and I've known Paul since I think we met around June of 2009. We were doing tribute bands for the group. We were in a lot of bands, but my favorite was ZZ Top, and I was Dusty Hill, and Paul was Frank Beard, and we became pretty close friends. And eventually, I got a sim that I called Snowy River, and we were doing the horses, the breedable horses, and Paul
Uh-huh.
came to live on my sim, and we were both doing breedable horses, and we had a market and all that auction. And then I met a man in Second Life who joined me in real life, and we got married. And so I didn't think that I would be coming into Second Life very much anymore. So I gave Paul the sim, Snowy River, and he changed the name to Copperhead Road. And then I found out the man I was with loved dance. And I started dancing to, I don't know, because he enjoyed it. And he's the reason I got started in dance. And eventually I moved into a mainstream dance, more creative, and I started dancing for a couple dance troupes who I found through Dance Queens. Dance Queens is a place too. If you need dancers for a troupe, you can advertise there. If you want to advertise your shows, you can advertise them there. Um, it's also a place where you can find classes to take. Dance Queens offers classes, and you can take classes to learn how to create dance. I mean, anything related to dance you can find through Dance Queens. So through Dance Queens, I found a couple troupes that I joined. I started dancing with them. And then, like I said, I wanted to start my own troupe because I wanted a place where I could do anything I wanted without all the rules. And Paul was still a really close friend, and him and his partner, I invited them to come see one of my dances at one of the other places where I was dancing. And after they saw it, his partner wanted to learn how to dance. And so I started telling her what I knew so that she could get started with it. And then we all started talking about having our own troupe. And Daiwa Bellick also encouraged me to start my own troupe. And I told her she was crazy. It was too much work. I couldn't do it. But we just, I don't know, she encouraged it. So then myself, my other half gunner, Paul, and his then time partner, Jilly, all got together and started Elysium Cabaret. And it's something that we learned as we went. We were totally green when we started this. We did not know what we were doing, but you know, we did our best and built it as we went along. And so that's how it all came to be. And 11 years later, we're still doing it.
Well, that's amazing. Um, Now I know that some places they actually get booked and dance at other places like other clubs. Now, do you all just dance here, or do you go out to other organizations?
Mostly we do it's here. We do our shows here, but we do road shows. And sometimes we get booked to do road shows. Someone will say, we come and do a show at our party. It's our anniversary, and we want it to be really big and special, and we want a dance show at it. Or sometimes people have a sim that, you know, an RP sim, a role play sim, or whatever, and they want us to come and perform there. And so they will hire us to come and perform there. So we do road shows. We usually charge 500 lindens per act. So if you want a and 500 for the DJ. So if you want 7 acts an hour show, it'll be like 4,000 lindens to hire us. And then we usually put out tip jars. We do take tips and we split them between all the choreographers and the DJ. And so, yeah, and the host if we or hostess if we have a hostess. But yeah, we do road shows, and we also do tailored shows and themed shows. Like recently we had someone who had a wedding anniversary, and they had special songs that they wanted dances created for. Another person recently was getting married, and they wanted some dance acts included as part of their wedding and reception, and also their audience, their guests danced as a big crowd dance.
Wow,
And we tailored dances just for them to songs that they selected.
very
So
nice.
that type of service, if you have someone who you really care about and want to give them something special, we can create a dance to a song you pick. I've even done an anniversary dance. The gal picked the song she wanted. I created a very beautiful romantic dance, and her partner danced it on stage together. It was really beautiful and very meaningful.
Why don't you take a second to let everybody know how they can get a hold of you?
Okay, well, you can just IM me in Second Life, Baby P Von Phoenix Biker Girl. That's probably a lot of words. It's too long. That's not my original name on this avatar. The original name, I had to change it. It was reported for being obscene to Linden Labs, and so I can't say on the air what it was. I didn't think it was that bad, but obviously someone did. I thought it was just a gag avatar. You know,
Right.
it was
It was
just
bad. It was bad.
it was funny. It was silly, but then I changed it. And when I changed it, I thought I didn't know they were going to let me keep the biker girl part. I thought they were, so I said Baby P Von Phoenix. But then they also kept, so I ended up with this really long first name, and I thought that Von Phoenix would get to be my last name, but that's not how it worked. But yeah, Baby
Right.
P. If it's easier, you can just I am Paul Woodrunner. That's a lot easier to spell. Or you can
Okay.
just come to Copperhead Road.
All right, I want to take a minute here to welcome everybody that's in YouTube chat. Hope you all having a great day and enjoying yourselves. For most places and most people, it's Saturday night. For others, it is Sunday morning. So I hope you are having a great weekend. Now, if there's any questions you have in chat, speak up and we will do our best to answer any and all questions. We have a somewhat
Yeah, because
lively chat here.
right here. Hi, Fizz. Hi, Venus. Lori. Oh, Fizz. Hi, Kyle. I'm looking
Welcome,
here.
everybody. Now, if y'all are brand new to Jazz World,
Pause.
go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just saying hi.
Now, if y'all are brand new to Jazz World, welcome. I do live streams and videos throughout the week. I do try to pop in various different places and try to let people know about their communities. So if you like the content we produce here, hit that subscribe button and that like button and tell all your friends about Jazz World. Now let's get back to the topic at hand, talking about the Elysium Cabaret with Baby P and Paul. Now we were
Right.
talking earlier about off air about how engrossed the dancing can be as far as time consuming. You covered that a little bit while we're on air. Do you all enjoy making the dances, or do you get drove crazy by all the time you put into it?
I love making the dances, and it's almost like an obsession. It's like something I need to do. I love music. I cannot sing well. I can't play any musical instruments. And dancing life, well, not the way I want to dance. I mean, everybody can dance, but not the way I want to dance.
Right.
So allows me to it's how I sing, it's how I play music. I create a dance and I express the song through the dance creation. And it's really an expression of my love of music. And through dance, I can create a mood and tell a story or share a feeling. And the goal is, yeah, sure, we want to entertain, but it's also to reach out and touch someone, their heart or their soul, or to move them emotionally, to make them feel something, even if it's sometimes it's humor. It could be, it doesn't have to be something that's, going to make them cry. It could be warm feelings, but that's what it's really all about is bonding with other people and bonding, two human souls bonding with one another, connecting, about connection. And I think that's what I really love about it. And I've got folders of songs that I still want to do. So, I just don't know. I keep waiting to run out of ideas, but so far I haven't. And
Well,
I've
that's a
got lots
beauty.
more.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. Yeah, that's
I
fine.
was going to say that's the beauty part of Second Life overall. There is so much inspiration out there that can be found. All you got to do is sit there and just embrace the communities you live in, and you will never run out of ideas.
Right. And Paul, you've created some dances too. I mean, how do you feel about it?
Oh, well, one thing that you have to like the song you're doing for sure, because you probably have to listen to it 100 times. And you know what? Y- There's a lot of math involved too that's not mentioned. So sometimes a calculator is handy to do these dances. But you know, I've only done maybe 6 or 7 in my time in this. I kind of focus on bringing putting the shows together, and not being in them as much as what these are just great dancers here. They're the best talent on the grid, and to actually make a dance that, you know, you just can't bring something really bad. I mean, it has to be really good to hang out with these guys.
Oh, I imagine. Now, you all bring up some interesting things. You keep referring back to the music. Now, from a YouTube point of view, when we're doing videos and live streams and stuff like that, we have to be very careful at the kind of music that we use underneath copyright laws and all that. So when you all are using a song, aren't you afraid of getting like some copyright strikes and Second Life went down? You for not having the rights to the song, maybe, or do you all just not worry about that, or how does that work?
I don't worry about that. I couldn't care less about that. I'm not using this to make money. I'm not claiming that their songs are mine. If
Okay.
anything, they should be flattered that I picked their song and chose their song to put hours of my life into and spent a lot of money to create a dance representing what their song means to me. I consider that to be flattering for them. And, I'm not using it to make money or anything. So,
It's all just entertainment. They're used for entertainment purposes.
and it's used for
Uh,
also for
so
artistic type, sometimes
artistic.
very artsy or whatever. But if they want to sue me, go on ahead. You can't get, you're not going
No,
to
I
get
didn't want to
royalties.
strike it. I wasn't trying to strike a nerve there or anything, but I
Oh
was just
no, yeah,
posing that
it's
little
fine.
question out. I mean, as a YouTuber, that's something we got to worry about when we're producing stuff with music content in the background. We had to either have permission to use it or own it ourselves. And I was just wondering if you all run into that same problem when you were doing your dances.
Yeah, well, long ago I did a road show, my first one, and the guy that videoed it, he was in the Second Life Aviation magazine, I guess issue 47 maybe, but copyrights took it down, and it was the songs that we had used. But times have changed a great deal, and that issue is back up. But I don't really worry about the copyrights anymore. I don't think we're involved with stuff that would infringe on anything like that.
Well, that's good. It comes from a DJ standpoint. DJ's got to worry about that too when you're in a club. Because Second Life is what Linden Labs, I'd rather say, they put down notices every once in a while that we had to, as DJs, you had to worry about that. And you had to worry about making sure that your music is clean as far as your titles are concerned and all that.
Ah,
So, yeah, it's a pain in the butt. It is a
what
pain in
I
the
wanted
butt.
to say is just that our shows sometimes are videoed and put on YouTube, and that music is used. And so far, if you Google or YouTube Paul Woodrunner, you'll see lots of material there about dance, and it uses a lot of good music.
Well, you see, the thing is, as far as I know anyway, I'm just speaking about what I know. I mean, I could be wrong on some of these things, but as the creator, it wouldn't be coming after you unless you were the one that were actually creating the video. The person that recorded the video and then added the music to it will be the one that channel will be getting strikes if it ever got a warning or anything like
Yeah,
that by YouTube.
I
It
think
would,
there's a lot of notifications that are put up. They know their business.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've posted videos and I will get something from YouTube saying that you don't own this music, therefore we're going to be showing ads on your
Exactly.
thing
Yeah.
from it. I'm like, that's fair enough. I'm fine with that. I don't mind. I have on a few had the music removed from a video where they said it's copyright, you can't, and they've removed the music from the video. And that's fine if they want to do that too. I mean, it's up to them. They don't, appreciate it or whatever. If they're that worried about it, that's fine. But it's never been an issue for me in dance. There have been times when I have actually bought music to use dance. I've actually paid for it, and I know one person in particular who always buys the music. But most people, we download a song from YouTube that we like, and we create a dance to it, and it's no harm done.
Well, YouTube itself is starting to, well, they're trying to put more music out there for creators to use. But it just depends on how you go about getting it. So, for everybody that
Yeah,
just popped in the chat, welcome. If I missed you coming in, hope you're having a great day and enjoying your weekend. If there's anything you all want to know out there in chat, feel free to speak up, make comments, likes, or whatever. Harass P over here and just have some fun. Hope you all having
harass.
yourselves a great day.
Yeah, but you were talking about the dance community. That's something else too. If someone wants to learn how to dance, how to create dance, then they really need to join Dance Queens. And that is where you're going to network. You're going to meet a lot of people in the dance community. You're going to get to know some of them, and you're going to find your niche. And you might have to try a few places before you find the one that feels right for you. You might end up, I know some people that are dancing in 10 different dance troupes. I don't know how they have the energy. I dance in a fair few myself, but I see it as hanging out with my friends, and I really love that. That's what I love most about it, is just spending time with my friends in a creative environment. But yeah, I also at times I teach classes through Dance Queens, and I'll teach a whole series on how to create a dance from start to finish. So
Is it hard
Dance
to
Queens.
teach?
No, because we break it down and we do one thing a week, and it's bit by bit. It's hard to do unless you really apply yourself. You have to put in the time. The dances aren't going to just themselves. You have to do the work. You have to put in the time and do the work. But if you have that passion in you and that hunger, then you're going to want to do the work. I actually enjoy creating the act more than performing it. um, I enjoy the creation process of building it and saying, okay, I've got this set. Now I'm going to put in a scene change here, and I'm going to build a new scene for the scene change. And I'm going to put particles in here, and here I'm going to have this fade out, this fade in, and this is going to pop up. I enjoy the creation process even more than performing. My favorite part of performing is actually getting to hang out with who I call my girls, which are some of them are guys, hanging out with the other dancers. I love sharing with them and dance and presenting my dance, but also seeing what they've created. And I just love that connection so much. That's my favorite part of the shows. But the thing I like the least about dance creation is definitely costuming. I detest it. I do not like to shop in either life. I am not a shopper at all. And when it comes to shopping, I am the laziest shopper. I will just shop online. I don't want to go to stores. I don't want to walk around. I cannot stand to shop. And my husband even does all our grocery shopping because I can't stand it. I cannot stand to shop.
That's the secret.
I don't like to shop for clothes. I don't like to shop for anything. He'll go to and pick out what clothes for me himself because I don't like to shop. And in Second Life, I don't like going to stores and waiting for things to res and camming around and camming around and camming
Mm-hmm.
around. Not stand and then go on Marketplace and you do a search, 96 pages. It's like I cannot stand shopping, and I think it's the most time-consuming part for me of dance is when you're costuming and trying to find just the right costume. You've got something in mind, trying to find it. Then you have to see, does it have a demo? Then you have to get the demo and try it to see if it breaks when it dances. Because a lot of stuff looks good when you're standing still, but you start to move and it breaks. So for me, costuming is probably the hardest part of dance and the part I like the
Well,
least.
have you, I don't know really how cost effective this might be, but this is a suggestion. Have you ever thought about reaching out to some of your favorite creators and trying to strike up a deal for making certain types of outfits and whatnot?
Um, I've thought about it, but I haven't really ever done it because Usually I can end up finding something pretty close to what I want, or a lot of times they aren't receptive. I have a couple times reached out to some and not even gotten a response. So usually I don't, because I don't really feel that they're most of them are that open to it. If I thought they were open to it, I would love to find a costume creator that we could work with and say, okay, we need something like this, but it'd have to be worth it to them too. They'd
Right.
have to be able to make something that they can sell, to the masses. So, but it's not really something that I've gotten into. Now, I have been at places that have had creators, clothing creators, sponsor shows and thereby provide costumes or costume pieces, jewelry, and so forth, props and things like that. So we have done that from time to time. We don't tend to do that a lot. There was also one where the a particle creator donated particles for it was a very big show, and
Uh-huh.
she was donating particles because then we were using her particles in our acts and promoting her store, so that they have to get something out of it if they're going to donate things, you know.
Right.
But yeah, we don't do a whole lot of that, but there has been a little bit.
So there's nobody among your little troop that creates clothes for themselves or anything like that?
All that happens. People are, they're just not, they're talented in other ways. Some people build their own sets. Some people make clothes, but usually there's a many industries that are connected with the dance industry.
Oh yeah. That's
The
what I was
fashion
thinking.
industry,
The animation
props, animations for sure,
scripters
costumes, just so many different things,
and all the HUDs.
venues, all the dance equipment
Some,
that you need to make it happen.
I mean, do create costumes. I mean, they can create clothing. But my thing is, these people who I know who do create clothing are so busy. They not going to have time to just create stuff just for me. And the stuff I need is going to be so specific, so spur of the moment. It's like I need it this week. They're not going to have time for that. And, they've got all their other own stuff going on.
So a lot of dancers like to have their acts videoed, you know, take down a record of it,
Hmm.
and find lots and lots of that kind of stuff on YouTube.
It just depends on what you're looking for, I guess. I mean, what you hope to get out
Yeah,
of this.
yeah.
Now, when you all first created the dance troupe 11 years ago, what was your overall goal? And have you met that goal?
Oh, that's really funny. Our original goal, God, I remember when we were first get together and talking about it. Um, and we were like, oh, what, we were so green, and we were just making it up as we went and staggering along, and I felt so awkward, but I was like, okay, I did not know what I was doing. And there were people, I had people who would advise me. Daiwa was a big help for everything. Daiwa Bellick, one of the pioneers of virtual dance in Second Life. And she was a big help to me, just
Excuse
and knowing what to do. But I think that our goal, I remember saying, okay, as long as we get like 10 people to each show, we'll keep going. But if it drops down to less than 10 consistently, we're going to have to just shut it down. And we did achieve that goal, my goal, to get at least 10 people to each show.
Yeah.
Usually we have around 70 people on the sim when we do a show. Now, a lot of them, there are a lot of dancers and stuff backstage, but a lot of that's audience. A whole lot of it's audience. Some shows are lighter. If it's a holiday weekend or, sometimes strange things happen. When we do a show every week too, I think it can get taxing.
me.
But
Oh, I imagine it could.
yeah, but we definitely met the goal that I had. which was to have at least 10 people at each show.
I think it
Paul, what
would
about
be beyond that.
Yeah, I have a couple of stories. One though, I remember Baby P after a couple of shows said that she was disheartened that there was too many empty chairs in front of the stage and that she wanted me to like remove them so that it looked better. And I thought to myself, oh well, I think I'm just going to put more chairs. And so we put more chairs because I thought we need to bring more people. That's the solution.
Right.
And it really did happen. It was a funny story at the time, but yeah, I never forget the word disheartened. I think I heard that for the first time when she told me that.
Wow.
So
yeah,
that
I
was a
was
good story about it.
seats, and I was like, take some of the chairs out so there aren't so many empty ones. I mean, there's too many chairs. You could, you know, 100 people in here. We just don't need this many chairs.
Well, well,
Yeah, and then he
I
went and he put more.
yeah, my real goal, I'm going to tell you right now, was to just hang out with these very talented people for as long as I could, because I thought they were close to the heart and soul of Second Life. And so everybody, I mean, it's really good to have a purpose.
Exactly.
And that's what the Elysium Cabaret and the Empire Room and really Baby P and everybody around me has given me the opportunity to participate in something that I think is worthwhile, but really good, really cool. It's pretty fulfilling, and I call them the big dogs, and all I wanted to do was run with the big dogs. So sometimes people try to pat me on the back and say I am a big dog, but ah, I think I've met my goals.
Why don't you two take a minute or two for the people that might be watching this at a later date or popping in right now that are not familiar with what dance trips are all about or your organization itself. Tell them where they can find you in world.
Well, you can find me. Everybody knows where to find me. You can just IM me, Baby P Von Phoenix. It's all one word: BABYAVONPHOENIX. That's a big long name.
Yeah, it is.
Second name's Biker Girl, BIKERGRRL. So girl is spelled with two R's instead of an IR. But you could just IM me. Or you could come to Copperhead Road Sim. You can always find us through Dance Queens. Join the Dance Queens group. It's everyone's free to join, and that is the main network for virtual dance in Second Life. I mean, if you're not involved with Dance Queens, you're going to miss out on a lot of dance information. Dance Queens also sends out a notice every day, one notice, so you don't have to worry about being spammed to death. They send out one notice a day, and in that notice, they tell you every show that will be on for that day. So that is a nice little service that they provide. And all the people who work for Dance Queens are all volunteers. And Diva and Amy and Beebles and of course Webb, who runs the whole thing, and Fuki still. And who am I? Am I missing anyone in my list? I don't want to leave someone off because my mind isn't on here and I forget things. But I do want to say one thing regarding Paul and the big dog thing. If it wasn't for Paul, Elysium would not still be here because I am ADHD and I can get very flighty because of that, and I can be very impulsive. And Paul is stable. Paul is solid. Paul is loyal, and Paul is reliable, and he's just really a solid foundation. And Paul has kept Elysium going and kept it stable through all of my ADHD, impulsive, flighty mood swings. If it was me, I probably would have shut it down during one of my little moods. or I sometimes you get tired. It's a lot of work. It's a ton of work, and sometimes you just get tired and you think, do I really want to keep doing this? Why am I doing this? And so it can look really easy to say, I'm going to quit. And
Yeah, I know
Paul
that
is
feeling.
solid that he has kept everything going, and he's pulled me along when when I thought I was too tired to keep going. So Paul is the reason that this is all still here.
Yeah. And Paul, is there any way that people can reach out to you? I mean, that you're the owner of the Empire Room?
I I'm here in Second Life. Uh, After my real life job, I'm here probably between 4 and 9. I'm here all the time. Just look me up. I'm online as much as I can be online. I'm here at Copperhead Road, and you're absolutely going to see me on Friday evenings at our show, the Elysium Cabaret. And we're always happy to bring the weekend on. Uh, and by the way, that's at 6 p.m. Second Life time.
Okay, now one little
Right.
thing I want.
Welcome to the weekend. That's our tagline, and Paul invented that. He said it. He used to say it at notices, and so I stole it, and that's now just become our tagline. Welcome to the weekend. So yeah,
Welcome to
Paul
the
invented
weekend.
that.
Hey, it's
Paul is
naturally
solid,
it's a great
solid in this.
catchphrase. It really is. One little thing before I forget. Now, Baby P, you were talking off air about some kind of blog you do. You want to put that out there for people?
Oh, we don't really have a blog. Well, we do, but we just use it to post pictures from the show when we do a show. Well, we use this. We post announcements when there's going to be a show, and
Hmm.
we also use it to post pictures. And Morgana does reviews of the shows. So, if you missed the show or if you just want to reminisce, there it is. I just posted it in the chat. That is our little blog. I don't usually do too much actual blogging. I just, like I said, I post the promos for the shows, and then Morgana posts reviews about the shows and pictures from the shows. Every now and then I'll go off and post about something that's actually really bloggy, like something related to dance, of course. But that uh, site also has our staff. It has pictures of almost all our choreographers and dancers and their bios to tell a little bit about them if you'd like to get to know them. There are some that I still need to catch up with and chase down because they are really super busy, and trying to pin some of these ladies down can be a bit challenging because they are so busy.
Well,
But they are on there.
for those of y'all that might be missing the chat in later episodes, why don't you go ahead and put it out verbally? Tell them where they can find the blog.
Okay, well, it's Elysium Cabaret blog.wordpress.com.
Okay.
HTTPS:// Elysium Cabaret blog.wordpress.com, and it's all in lowercase.
And after the
So,
show, everybody, I will be adding more links to all the information you've been talking about so everybody can find you when they want you and so forth and so on. Um,
oh, thank
going
you. That's so nice of you.
going into the show, I had very little information to work with, so I just put a basic description up in the show notes where when you come to Jazz World, and you click on the live stream, that's what you'll see. But later on, I'll add some more description and basically also put in some timestamps of where you want to find certain spots in the stream where we're covering certain topics. For those of y'all that are brand new to Jack's World, welcome. I'm Jack Baxton, creator of Jack's World all these years ago. And what I really do, if you want to know, is I do exploring videos, I do live streams, and I cover various different topics. Not everything is the Second Life based, so it's also real world based. So there's always going to be something here that you should find interesting. Now, we'll get back to the topic at hand. Um, Now, you all said you've been doing this for 11 years, uh, and we all covered how you got started. Where can you see yourself going, say, 2 years from now? Or do you even see yourself doing this 2 years from now?
I'll let Paul answer that because he's the solid one.
Oh my God. Well, I don't have any plans of stopping. It's what we do. Like Baby P said, it's a hobby of hers, and this is kind of a hobby of mine. And I mean, it's a love of mine too. I enjoy coming here and networking with a lot of fine people, and booking these shows and bringing all these talents together is very rewarding, um, to to say the least. It really is. And every show is great. Some are better than others, but every one of them is just great. I just want to say one thing. You see, our shows, it takes a great MC, masters of ceremonies, to pull these off, great DJs to pull these shows off and to really make them smooth. And the voice of the Elysium Cabaret is Gunner, and I don't think that I don't know. There's very few that can match him in what he does, and he's one of the great things about the Elysium Cabaret that you know makes me come back.
Okay.
Paul's
Um,
my other half. And it was nice because he had never DJ'd before, but when we talked about wanting to start a club, he learned how to DJ so that he could DJ for us.
Very
And he
cool.
is very, very solid DJ. And he, when it comes to keeping Elysium going, is as solid as Paul. I've been the one at times who've been like, oh, I'm getting too tired for us to keep doing this. Haven't we been doing it long enough? And very expensive because Paul and I we split the sim, and it's a lot of money every week for tier. And it's like, do we really want to keep doing this, or I could just dance in other people's places? But Gunner is another one who really wants to keep doing this, and so we onward we as long as the guys are still wanting to do this, I'm here.
It's a lot there you're driving force, basically.
One of the
Yes.
just one of the better jobs that I have is greeting the people when they show up. You know, every week. That's a pretty good job, and I share that job with Morgana. Uh,
Oh, she does a
we
great job. I've
yeah,
known
we started
Morgana
a
for
new
a lot
show
of years.
together.
Me and her go way back, and she's a wonderful woman. I mean, she knows exactly what she's doing, and she just stays on top of everything.
Right. So keeps
Yep.
me
She and
lined out a
Paul.
lot of times.
Yeah, they do. And they greet everybody when they come in, and Paul hosts from out here, out in the audience, and he always, really pumps up each performer as they come up to do their act. He's sometimes he even dances in an act. And him and Morgana, yeah, they've been great to greet. And Morgana, like I said, also takes pictures and posts the blog review. And then my Webby, who um, she's she owns the Dance Queens and is a director of it. But she's also my second life daughter, and my little tiny Baker baby girl, and she promotes our shows through all the Facebook groups. When I do the advertisements and the promo posters and I do the promo on the blog, she'll share it and she puts them out to all the Facebook groups. So I want to give a shout out to Webby for that because she does all that. And all this is volunteer. No one gets paid other than, well, no one gets paid with Linden's. They get paid with appreciation and the joy of service, and just like Paul says, networking and connecting with other creative people.
A lot of these people are my friends. Lots of them are my friends. I know them. Know their
Sounds like
names.
a real. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
I'm just saying that I know many of these people. They're all my friends. So I know them a bit. I see them every day sometimes. So, yeah.
It sounds like it's a real family organization, quite honestly, and that's a great thing. It really is.
A lot of it does feel like family. A lot of it does. And if you saw us in group chat during the shows, definitely. We have a lot of fun and there's a lot of laughter, but we're very supportive of one another. And I love that. There's a lot of support in the dance community, the dancers supporting each other and cheering for each other and, complimenting things that they liked in each other's acts to encourage one another and to show appreciation that someone is taking the time to create this act and has the courage to put it out there and share it with everyone and to appreciate the effort of what they're actually doing, which is sharing insight into their soul. When someone presents a dance that they have created, they're giving you a peek inside their soul.
Exactly.
And being able to show appreciation for that is, one of the things that are so rewarding about doing the shows.
We had somebody comment in YouTube chat the Twisted family for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's sassy Kyle. Kyle's gonna be thanking after the bell.
All right, for those of you that might be coming to the stream that are not familiar with Second Life or the Elysium Cabaret, it's a dance troupe based in Second Life, and Second Life is a virtual platform. If you haven't created an account yet and you're looking for somewhere to get away from your real world from time to time, I would strongly suggest you create an account and come up and look up this whole entire organization and dance troupes all together. They are very entertaining and they have a lot to offer.
And come out and see a show and make it your Friday night habit because it's really fun and it's really feel good at the end when we invite the audience up on stage to dance at the finale. We're all up there dancing in sync together. It's just fun. And then after the show, we invite everyone to stay for open dancing and to their requests. Just for because
And
you get really pumped up at these shows and you're so full of adrenaline and so full of energy. And the after party gives you a chance to, well, at least for me, to calm down. And I think that Sunset had a question here. She
Oh,
asked me, what
good.
do you rather create sets or dances? But oh, the choreography or the building? That depends on my mood. Sometimes I just want to get in there and build, and I want to get in there and build sets, and I want to build and build. And there are times I've gone and just built sets that I didn't even have dances for, and I've parked them, in a folder, and it's like I'll use them when I find the right song for them, because I just really feel like building. And there are times when I just want to go in there and focus on the choreography. And I've got thousands of animations. If I've got one 3-minute song and I've got to pick maybe 10 animations to choreograph this song out of thousands, that's a lot of animations to go through to find the ones that work for this song. But, when you do this a lot, you become familiar with your dances and you have an idea of where to start. It's like, all right, if I'm going to, do something that sounds like tap dancing, then I'm going to go look at A&M animations. If I'm going to be doing hip hop, I'm going to go look at Paragon. If I'm going to be doing cabaret style, I'm going to start with Animations. So, you get an idea of, you get to know your dance animations. I'm going to be doing something really sexy. I'm going to go to synced, you know. So you've got to start there, but It depends on my mood. Sometimes I love to do the choreography, and sometimes I think I just can't. You know, it's just too much. But getting to know your animations does make that a lot easier. But I will say, at the end of the day, the choreography is probably the most important part of any dance to me, is the choreography, because really all the rest is filling and things that make it more interesting, but the choreography is the soul of the dance. And I think that, so for me, the choreography is the single most important part of any dance.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Well, I got you. You keep mentioning from time to time the open dance portion after the set. Now, I'm assuming you're talking about like a particular song, maybe because unless you are familiar with the types of dances that you have, how could you really request a particular type of dance?
Oh, do you mean the crowd dances that I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
where there's
yeah,
people lining
yeah.
up on stage? All right, that also has a choreographer who has built a set and sometimes even arranged particles or special effects or little things that the people wear as part of the dance.
Oh, okay.
And that choreographer has created the choreography, has already pre-chosen 3 songs and created the choreography for each of those songs. And when the audience member stands on one of the pose balls or sit pads, they get invited to the choreographer's HUD. And when they stand up, they're usually removed from the HUD. But as long as they're on the sit pad or the mover or whatever, or the pose ball, then the choreographer runs the dance and they all dance it together. But that's also been, however, there is someone named Eva Harley who's very bold and daring. And Eva Harley loves to freestyle. And she loves to get people on dance balls or sit pads. And she even likes it if the DJ picks the songs, and she doesn't even know what songs are coming. And she freestyles with dances in her HUD and will freestyle these. She does this and she thinks it's fun. And I think that she has got some
Somebody just said in
issues
chat.
with.
Sorry, somebody just said in chat. Oh, they just like pushing people in around the end of the show. So you all basically.
What's it called when someone has likes doing things that are really daring? There's a word for it. Um, oh God, I can't remember the word for it, but
Daredevil.
yeah, they've got, yeah. I say that Eva's definitely, she's what I'd call, she's like we call her the Eva Knievel of the dance community,
Ah,
because she likes doing this daring freestyling an entire audience of people to songs that she doesn't even know what they're going to be. So yeah, Eva Knievel, yeah, she definitely got some courage.
you can
And I would be hysterical. I would be a mess if I had to do that, and it would be a disaster. I mean, if I couldn't plan out and know what song I'm going to do and plan out the animations, but Eva likes to live dangerously.
Yeah,
And
nothing wrong with
Eva
that.
Harley, she also teaches dance classes through dance
Oh yeah, we were
studios.
talking a bit about that
And
off air. Dance classes. Where can somebody go to learn about that? Dance
Dance
queens.
Queens.
Okay,
If you
yeah.
want to join the Dance Queens group, all you got to do is search in groups, or you can look at my profile or Web Sass's profile and find Dance Queens and just click on it, open it up, and join. It's free to join, and it is the hub of all dance and Second Life. And if you're not involved with Dance Queens and you want to be involved with dance, you are really missing out,
Excuse me.
because it's the info center. I mean, anything you want to know about dance. And if you need help with something, you're trying to find an animation, you don't know where to even start, you can ask in Dance Queens. People will help you. We're talking about the dancers supporting one another. Well, a lot of them are very supportive. And if you need to find a certain costume, or you're looking for a certain type of particle, or you're, looking for a certain type of prop or animation, you can post in Dance Queens and someone will come forward and will help you. I mean, very helpful community. And it's like the big extended dance family.
Wow. It sounds like you all really have a really tight community, and You have each other's backs, and that's great. I mean, it really is. You don't find that very often in Second Life anymore, or anywhere, quite honestly. The way today's society is.
I know it is really actually pretty darn tight, supportive community. And there are things like if someone's show is struggling, they can't seem to get enough choreographers. A friend of theirs might come up and say, "I'll do a dance for you," and they'll jump in and help each other, and they'll even help promote each other's shows. And a lot of us share logos and landmarks to the other troops and their venues, and we help each other. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's actually getting bigger and stronger. Dance in Second Life is actually, I mean, it's getting really complicated. I mean, in a good way.
I would
And
say it'd be a
it's
great date night
weird.
for a Friday night, quite honestly.
Yeah, it is a wonderful date night for a Friday night.
Downtown, the Empire Room.
A little shameless plug here. The prog. Good for you. Now, we are coming to you live from the Empire Room tonight, and we're talking about the Elysium Cabaret. They are a local dance troupe here in Second Life. If you are interested in learning how to dance, contact Baby Baby P. I'm not going to say the full name here. That's just too much for my mouth right now. And Paul as well, and they will put you in touch with who you need to be or contact with, rather. It's been a long night already. It's 8 o'clock at night. We started this set at 8 o'clock my time, so yeah, on a Friday night it's getting kind of late. I hope you all are enjoying yourselves and enjoying your weekend most of all. And for those of y'all that are Second Life citizens, and this is the first time you tuned into Jack's World, welcome. Hope you all stick around and have a great time and all the stuff you find here on my website and YouTube page. Um, Now, Paul, you're the owner of the Empire Room. Is there any other thing you got running on here at the Empire Room other than the dance troupe that you want to talk about?
Well, if you're I try to do a little bit of a dance show for veterans at another theater called Bob Hope Theater. It's on another platform here at Copperhead Road.
Okay.
And we just finished our 4th of July show, and it was really wonderful. You also could see many 9/11 memorial things attached uh, to the theater. We have the Tower of Voices, the Flight 93 that crashed in Shanksville, and then we have the Wall of Names, the passengers that phoned home um, during the 9/11 um, hijacked aircraft. And so, there's a few things that you could see here at Copperhead Road, other than the Elysium Cabaret, but I will tell you that it's all wrapped around the Elysium Cabaret. My other dance troupe is called the Outsiders. They perform at Bob Hope Theater, and they usually do Veterans Day, Memorial Day, 9/11, Patriots Day, we call it, um, 4th of July. These are the events that we do. Probably 5 shows a year. And I find it it's very rewarding to do such a thing. It's pretty patriotic as well.
Now, the outfits, or I rather should say costumes, for those particular type of shows, I'm assuming they're military based.
What's that?
The military
Not
outfits.
always.
Oh, not always? All
Not
right.
always.
Okay.
Oh,
Usually for the outsiders shows, the choreographers will create dances that are more tailored towards veterans, troops, and first responders to showing appreciation. And sometimes it'll be about their families waiting for them to come home or dealing with having lost someone in a war or dealing with a lot of different things that come, from it all. So they're not always dressed in military costumes, but
Okay.
sometimes
oh
they are.
no. Yeah, well, it's a U.S. You could say that sometimes it reminds you of a USO show that Dick
Okay.
Hope would have put on.
All right. I
You
get
know,
you. I
Yes,
get you.
yes, more like that.
sometimes that, but you know, sometimes emotional, sometimes very uplifting. You know? So
Well, I think you all are
I keep
doing it.
doing it.
I think you all are doing
That's The
amazing.
Outsider. Yeah,
I,
it was a spin-off from Elysium that Paul started, and Paul was in Vietnam, and so was Gunner. And so I think it's something that's really meaningful to them, um,
Well,
as far as patriotism goes.
well, I I gotta correct. I've never served in Vietnam, but if it would have kept going, I might have.
Oh, sorry, I thought you had actually.
No.
Yeah, yeah, Gunner was. It was a few days before his 18th birthday, and he enlisted, and off he went. He was only there for 1 year. He came home, and the plane landed. And when he stepped off the plane, there was a group of protesters there in the airport. One of them threw a bag of dog feces at him and hit him in the head and called him a baby killer. So, yeah, he had the Vietnam welcome home, but that's why he really appreciates the kind of shows that Paul produces now through The Outsiders. Appreciates being shown, you know, the respect and the care, and being shown
right.
appreciation.
That was a dark time in our history, and people were acting quite stupid back then as well. They still are around to a great degree, but what can you do?
Yeah, all you can do is try to do your best each day. I was
Exactly.
going to tell you how Gunnar and I met because I thought it might be amusing for
Hmm.
um, Gunnar and I met in Second Life when through a role play friend sold me to him as a joke.
Now,
And
since you said the word sold, I got to make sure that people understand this. That is a role play type situation in Second
it was a
Life.
role play. Right. It was a role play sim,
We do not
and she
we do not
sold me.
condone anything like that. No, it is not. It wasn't a real life situation.
Oh
It
no,
was.
not at all. It was tongue in cheek. It was a joke. And I wish it was in my gag avatar because it was sight unseen, and my gag avatar, which was this avatar, had a different name than it has now. Had a name that's obscene that I can't say. Um, and that avatar, I had deliberately made her. She was very fat. She was flat chested,
Excuse me.
had a flat butt, and she was bald. And I had her dressed very sexy in spite of that. And I went there to him and introduced myself. And he said, "Did I just buy you?" And I was waiting for him to run screaming. And my friend and I were in IMs cracking up laughing. He's going to get a shock. And people were heckling and local. And instead, he took me home and he kept me. And the only thing he asked me to change was to get hair. And I was like, oh my God, guys, he wants to, and he doesn't even care that I'm fat and flat chested and no butt. And he just wants me to get hair. It's like, this guy, is he drunk or what? I knew he couldn't be desperate because it's Second Life and beautiful avatars are a dime a dozen here. They're everywhere. Everybody's beautiful. So I was really shocked by that, and I was intrigued. And I had to stay and get to know this man who wanted me, even though my avatar looked like that. My avatar was so fat that he put me in his lap, cuddled me that first night, and half his avatar disappeared into mine because mine was so big. And so I stayed with him because I was intrigued.
Wow.
And 11 months later, he relocated from Texas to Australia. And 3 months after that, we got married. And this July 8th will be 11 years
Well,
engaged.
congratulations.
Amazing.
So that's how we met. And it all started as a joke. And then eventually someone reported me for having an obscene name. So Linden Labs made me change it, which I was glad because by then I had started dancing. I didn't want that horrible name anymore. Not
It was
in the
obscene.
Right.
yeah, it was yeah, and I didn't want it. It was fun though. It was fun. It was a fun obscene, but it was a joke. It was just the whole thing was a joke. I mean, but I didn't want to change avatars to dance in because since I had met Gunner in this avatar,
Then,
it was, and I wanted to stay in this avatar. And I got lucky that someone reported me, so I got to change my name to something that was not obscene. That's
right.
how. And I met, and it proves that you can meet someone in Second Life and carry the relationship into real life, and it can work out.
Yeah, you can.
You know, I think it's a rare thing, but it does
It's a
can
very
happen.
rare
You
thing.
have to be, you have to have reasonable expectations. I do not care how well you know each other in Second Life and how much you've lived together online 24/7 on Skype, on voice, day in, day out. When you meet in real life, it is still a shock. It is still different, and you still have to get to know each other from scratch when you meet in real life. I don't care how much time you spend together in Second Life. When you meet in real life, you find out that the other person is not superhuman, and they're finding out that you're just a regular human too, not some perfect goddess. You're a normal person, and this other person's normal, and you have to get to know each other from there. And it's almost like starting over, and you have to be really committed.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure you. Yeah, most definitely. Well, you gotta be really committed on anything you do with anybody in any platform. Quite honestly, otherwise drama can set in and everything just goes sideways.
right. Yeah.
For those of y'all new to Jack's World, welcome. I am Jack Baxton, creator and operator of the YouTube page. I also have a website, jackbaxton.com. I do blogging there, although I haven't done none in a while, but I'm getting back into that. I'm also having an online radio station, which you'll find some of this content uploaded on and other radio type content as well. I'm getting back into that. If y'all like the content that you produce here and you like this live stream, hit subscribe and like and tell all your friends about Jack's World. Um, you too, I think what you all are doing here with the dance troupe and the club overall is an amazing thing, and I hope that you all keep it up for a long time.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Yeah.
We have to.
I do want to ask you all one last question before we start to wrap things up. From a social point of view, outside of just dancing for other places and stuff like that, what is it you really hope to achieve with your organization?
It's a good question.
For me,
No.
I hope to achieve a group of creative people that um, really, really care about one another, support one another, not just in our troop, but in other troops as well, and that are here for that are here to enjoy sharing creativity with one another and supporting each other and being kind to one another. And that this be a safe haven where creative people can come and express themselves through dance, express themselves musically through virtual dance, and that they feel comfortable and happy here, and that they care about each other and care about us and let us care about them. Because that's the main thing I'm here for is the social aspect of it. Oh, look who it is. Kath, you want to say hi? This is Kath. She's my housemate, mine and Gunner's housemate. She lives in the back, and she brings me coffee.
Cool.
She's a real Australian, not like me. No, no, you don't know how to say yarn properly. Say yan. There's an R in there. Yeah. Okay. Good. A yank in training. Paul, you go ahead and answer that now, dear. Well, I
Oh
take a.
my God. I was hoping I'd get away with not. Uh, I don't know what I'm aiming at. I just know that I you know, you have a tendency to do what you like to do, and you just keep doing it. And as time goes by, y- you know, look, if there was anything better in Second Life, anything that would make me more money or more fame, I might decide it. But there's nothing, and there hasn't been. I think the universe is wrapped around dance and Second Life for me, and I'm gonna hang out for a while. Just
Um,
keep producing good shows.
the main thing is enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, have
And
fun.
exactly. And
And
hopefully, if it inspires or helps somebody along the way, even better.
Yep,
well,
and meet good people and make good friends.
Exactly.
I kind
Yeah,
of like to think of it like a golf game. You're not really competing against anybody but your last score, your last round.
Right.
And, you know, and if it doesn't go well, it was a really good walk in the park. So,
and you can always keep trying and doing more.
you have a fun time, you know?
Exactly. Listen, we've been going for quite some time tonight. Unless there's something you all want to cover before we bring the stream to an end, I think it's about time to
Just
start
one
wrapping things up.
just one thing.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
If you can't make a Friday show with us, but you're on another day, sometimes during the week, look at Dance Queens. There's always dances going on, and yeah, go and check one out.
yeah, they've always got show. They tell you the show's on every day. Dance Queens is definitely the the hub of virtual dance in Second Life.
All right, yes. Don't forget to check them out, everybody, and stop by the Empire Room from time to time and go ahead and harass these two. They're always willing to entertain you. Well, I hope y'all have enjoyed the stream and enjoyed the show. This has been Jack Baxton, Baby P, and Paul here. I'm sorry, what's your last name, Paul?
All Woodrunner.
Woodrunner, okay. Sorry about that. um, well, hope y'all have a great day and enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we will see you all next time. Oh,
Thank you, Jack, very much for talking with us and
oh,
for
my
coming here and
pleasure.
doing
Hello.
us.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody who stopped in to sit and watch with us here live. And thank you to everybody who joined in on YouTube, on the stream. Thank you all for participating. And we look
Drive
forward to seeing
carefully.
you all again soon.
All right, y'all have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.